Yo, what is up, Crockxen clan members and others who have stumbled upon this video? I'm SoresanCrockxen, bringing you guys another anime time with Soresan, which is an anime review, and today we'll be covering Btooom. Btooom, however the heck you say it. I just say Btooom because it sounds cooler. But anyways, so pretty cool anime. So why don't we just let's get into it, you guys. Let's just get into it. So Btooom is a very dark. I mean, it's not necessarily dark, but it's a very it's an anime that makes you think a lot. Like it makes you really like reflect and look back at what happened, and just like it makes you want more. Like 'cause it feels so close to real life. Like at least to me, it felt like, hey, this stuff can happen. Like it's so close to like reality as you can get. Like it's ridiculous. In terms of like the characters, like what happens is pretty ridiculous. But I mean, it could happen. But I mean, really, like, who wins there? So, anyways, the premise of Btooom. I'm sorry. It's okay. So we basically have this video game called Btooom, or Btooom, whatever. We'll just call it Btooom. Uh, Basically, it's a strategy warlike game. You have an avatar, and then you have a different sets of grenades that you can use or that you can have, and then you create a strategy around the type of grenade you have, and then there's different classes and stuff like that. So you work with the way with what you have and try to win. Um, it's done in groups, right? It's like Call of Duty and all that shenanigans. You work as a team to defeat the opposite team using strategy, using a team strategy alongside with the type of grenades each member has. So, we have our main character, Ryota Sakamoto, who is the best player in Japan, number 5 in the world. He's top dog, right? He's amazing. He's great at this game, right? Um, he might be good at the game, but he has some personality issues. He is very um self-righteous. Like he thinks highly of himself, which isn't a bad thing. But when it gets to the point where you look down on people, that's when it's a problem. Here's the thing. He does not work. He has no job. He did graduate high school, but he has no job. He lives with his mom and his stepdad. And he's abusive towards them, right? That he literally is abusive towards them. He breaks shit down. He freaking flips tables, yells at his mom. He's a bad kid, right? I mean, he's not really a kid. He's in his 20s, but you know what I mean. He needs to take a chill pill, kind of shenanigans. So he ends up getting kidnapped by these guys in a suit. And then he gets like he actually lost his memory. And we find out why. It's actually a pretty terrible thing they did. But they end up sending him to an island, like this just remote island in the middle of nowhere. Like there's nothing surrounding this place. And he wasn't the only one. There's other people that were sent there, and they explain later on. Basically, certain people in their country, I guess Japan, they got this letter in the mail, and in this letter there was a question said if there's anybody you would like to get rid of, if there's someone you hate, they just want gone, stuff like that. And if someone filled out a name, that person would be kidnapped and then sent to this island. So what's wrong? What's up with this island, right? This island is Btooom in real life. Literally, you are sent there. You have, well, technically, you can make a team, right? But you start out by yourself. You have to gain people's trust. You have these things on your hand. They're like this little green crystal, and it's always in your right hand, which is your scanner. It's your radar. You activate it. And you can see around you if there's anybody around. And then you have a pouch with bombs, with grenades, with whatever type that you have. So Ryota ends up starting with like these timer bombs and like these weird square things that you press and it has a timer and then explodes when he hits 0. So throughout the anime, it's him trying to survive. Later, we meet a guy named Tyra, which hopefully you'll see a picture of him right now. Tyra is this old man who he doesn't know like what happens, right? He has a loving family. He has a wife and a son, and he's very good to them, right? And then when we meet the third character, Himiko, or technically her name isn't really Himiko, that's just what she gets called. Her name is Amelia in real life. But we'll get to how she was called Himiko in a bit. But she ends up telling them what the deal is because Tyra explained or told uh, Ryota how they got there and what was going on. He's like, okay, so we were on a plane, we were being sent here, and they were explaining to us what we are gonna do. And then he stood up for them. There's these guys with these stun guns right there, freaking ready to shoot. And then he got shot, and then that's why he lost his memory. And they were sent here, and the purpose was that they have to get set. They have one, right? They have one crystal. They need to get 7 more, so they have a total of 8, which means and the only way those things come out is if the person is dead. Like, literally, that's the only way that thing's gonna come out, which means they have to kill 7 people to get those green crystals, and then, they win, or they get rescued, essentially. Um, so Himiko explains to them how they got there, because they all know, yeah, we were sent here, but they didn't know how. So she thinks about it. She remembers that her friends got a letter, and this letter said those exact words, meaning that that's how they were sent. And then we later, like, Ryota's mom literally tries to commit suicide. Like, she cuts her wrist because she feels bad for sending her son to who knows where. Because he was kidnapped, right? She knows he was kidnapped, but she feels bad about it. She's still his mom, so she feels bad that she got him kidnapped, basically, in a way. Um. Anyway, so they go through this whole ordeal. They're trying to survive. Himiko has this issue though. This anime, before we get into like literally what's gonna happen, I suggest that if you're young, don't watch this, because it is a very serious and dark anime. Like, literally, like, stuff that happens is crazy. Like, Himiko is almost raped. They actually show her almost getting raped, and then she defends herself. She kills the guy, right? But they show her almost getting raped, so it goes into that kind of ordeal. Um, so she's very introverted. She's very like she untrustworthy. She doesn't trust anybody, basically. So when they rescue her, like, she actually tries to commit suicide because she wants to die clean, right? She wants to die clean with not like a virgin, basically. She doesn't want to have her virginity taken away by, like, after being raped by somebody. So she wants to die. She would prefer to die than be raped by Ryota, who's the one who rescued her. And then he saves her, and then crazy shenanigans happen. We get to see moments from, like, the actual video game that they were playing, like the actual video game that correlates to this real life killing spree, technically. Um, and we meet all sorts of characters. This little kid, I, I, I know, he's like, I don't know, like 10, maybe. I don't know, like maybe like 9, 10, somewhere around those. Um, what was his name? What was his name? Uh, hold on. I got this. I know he's in here. I can find his name. Okay, apparently they're not gonna say his name on here. It's freaking crazy. But anyways, he's a little kid, right? And oh boy, like, he has some issues. Like, I mean, I saw him as a sociopath. Um, oh wait, right here. Okay, Kosuke Kira. That's his name. I found it. I'm sorry it took so long. But he's this little kid, right? Apparently it says he's 14. He looks more like 10. But anyways, so he is a sociopath. He actually killed and raped 3 women, and then he was arrested. and he had a lawyer, and then he got sent to the island alongside his lawyer and his dad. I don't know how that worked. But apparently his dad was abusive though. Like his dad abused the fuck out of that kid. Like I felt bad for him. Like that's, but he showed his sociopathic ways. Freaking killed his dad with a freak. This grenade was freaking. I don't even know. Like that grenade was like weird. Like it basically like he stuck it on his dad. Like he killed his father, right? Stuck it on his dad, and it kind of like sucked you in, like it imploded, I guess you could say. I mean, like I don't know how that thing worked, but basically he killed his dad, and he just laughs like, "Yay, I'm free from this." I kind of I felt with because I was like, he was abusing the kid, but I mean to laugh about it. I mean, it showed his sadistic side basically. So, and so he's a weird kid. He actually gets beaten by Ryota, but he doesn't get killed by Ryota because Ryota doesn't want to kill anybody. Um, well, that's the way it works. Like he actually changes. Like I first I didn't really like Ryota, but after a while, like he became my favorite character. Like straight up. And then they meet other people. They meet this doctor. This freaking I hated that guy. His name was Date. Stupid thing is, he actually had been in the island before. We actually get to see his whole backstory. He was actually in the island prior to this time, and left. He won, right? He left, and then he's back, which meant that he pissed off somebody else or something like that. It was funny though. That was ridiculous, and he was a backstabber. Like the way I just you do not like this guy. I will tell you right now, you will not like this guy, because when you hear his backstory, what happened the first time he was in the island, you're gonna be like, oh, this guy deserves to die. Like literally, he deserves to die. I'm not gonna spoil what he does because that would be ruining too much. But I mean, throughout the story, we have a lot of stuff happen to these three characters. I actually felt bad for Tyra. Tyra, he became one of my favorite characters. Strictly because I mean, not because of what he did, but what happened to him. Like you could see, like he is a character that you're gonna relate to a lot. Not in the sense that you're an old man and stuff like that, but his psychological process. Because he's an old guy, right? I mean, he's not like in his 60s, but he's like in his 40s. He's a grown man, like right. He befriends Ryota first, like they become friends, and they're there for each other basically. And then Himiko comes along, and then it's like there's three of them, right? They can do whatever they want. He actually has two crystals. He got one from the guy that Himiko killed, and I do not remember who the other one was from. Oh wait, no, it was. Oh, who was it? I don't remember who he got it from. But the point is, he had them hidden. Like the other Ryota and Himiko did not know about it. But he goes, he wants to be with Ryota, right? So the thing is, he gets hurt. Like he gets bitten by a freaking Komodo dragon. Like that episode was freaking weird. Komodo dragons just come out of nowhere. They bite him when he's protecting Himiko. Before Ryota can throw a bomb at them, right? Because he wasn't like they were in this river kind of place, and then Taira took Himiko to the other side while Ryota was trying to get the grenades and get all the supplies that they had. Um, excuse me. So he got bitten, which meant that he was already dead weight. Basically, Komodo dragons have venom in their bites, so he was already in a bad spot, right? Here's the thing: they get separated, and he starts freaking out because he was left like Ryota was left with Himiko, unconscious Himiko, and he was mad or he was scared because freaking Tyra disappeared, and then they end up finding each other. Here's where it gets tricky though. Tyra gets left behind alive, and you will notice like this is something that I actually probably would have lost at first, but his psychological his mind just starts going away. Like he starts losing his freaking mind because here's the thing, he's hurt really bad, Not only that, but later on he gets his fingers chopped off by this freaking maniac. He gets band-aid up by this freaking Date, who shows up and freaking heals him. He's a doctor, right? But anyways, he's dead weight basically. He knows he's dead weight. So every time that Ryota leaves to get supplies or get anything for Tyra, he starts freaking out because he's like, oh my gosh, he's gonna leave me here. I'm gonna die all by myself. Because he just literally, he knows he's holding them back because he is hurt, but he does not want to die. So he's in this conflict. He wants to trust them, but he knows he's hurt, and he knows that they have every right to leave him there, but he doesn't want to die. So he goes crazy, like literally, like he's every time that they leave him, he gets worse and worse and worse because he keeps saying, okay, this is the time that they're not gonna come back. They always come back, but that's not what matters. He's being left alone every time. Even when Date shows up, they leave him alone again when they go to find an antidote for the freaking venom. He freaks out. He completely loses it. Literally, he completely loses it. I would have lost my mind way before that, probably because I'm insecure like that. But I'm just saying, like literally, you would understand the way he felt. He was dead weight, and he knew it. He would understand it, but he did not want to die. Thus, he starts having illusions of his kid and wife, saying that he can win the game because he has a tool that he found, that he got, his. Then they already had, or Ryota and Himiko had 3 each. They had 3 that they had gotten from the psycho that they killed. So that was 3 right there. So that makes 6. And then the visions start going, hey, that's 6 with them. Himiko's 1, that's 7, and then Ryota's 8. Literally telling him, hey, you can come back home. Like, he's already lost. He's gone, basically. His mind is gone. And he's going to betray them. Like, literally, he's going to betray them. And he does betray them, but he ends up committing suicide when he hears them calling out for him. Like, he actually shoots 2. Like, his grenade was really cool. It was a homing grenade. Like he had a little camera, and then you would look through it, and then you would you would get your target, and then you would fire it, and it would be just going directly at that one, like right. But it could only target one person at a time, so it was kind of, and it was really weak. Like in terms of power, it was one of the weakest. So he when they both trapped the bomb. Like Ryota. Or Himiko catches one to save Ryota and turns it off, and then Ryota catches the other one to save Himiko. He only had one left, and then they start shouting out for him, saying that they want to leave with him and all this stuff. And then the Komodo dragons show up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, these things just don't give up. He commits suicide by homing on himself, making a big explosion, or an explosion there to basically scare off the Komodo dragons, which meant that they have 6, and they became an issue. They killed or they were gonna kill Dota, but he got rescued by the person he betrayed. That was really stupid. That pissed me off. But he was still alive, so they had 6, and then Himiko tries to sacrifice herself because here's the thing. This is where I told you guys I was gonna tell you where Himiko's name comes from. Here it is. Himiko is her nickname from the game. Himiko was Ryota's wife in game. She lied to him throughout the anime, saying that she was not her. First, Ryota rescued her when she was in danger, and then because he thought it was her, and technically he was right, it was her, but she lied, but he still protected her as if it was her. But he got to a point where he realized it was her. She was lying to him, and it becomes this. It was an epic ending for the beginning. Like season 1, this was it. Like it ended with them like just waiting there, and they need one more crystal. We have not met like I don't even know 2/3 of the people that were on the freaking island. I'm just saying there's a lot of people missing that we haven't met. So season 2 needs that needs to happen because they're not even off the island yet, and we haven't met most of the people that were in the island. Plus, the little kid's still alive, and we have this other character that I forgot to mention. His name's Oda. Oda. I don't even know if I should even talk about him. Let's just say he's a douche who was friends with Ryota when they were in high school, and stuff happened, and they were no longer friends. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. You can find out for yourself. I mean, I suggest it. I freaking love this anime, and I need, like, literally, that's how bad. I need a season 2 because it cannot end that way. I hear the manga's ongoing right now, and there's people saying that maybe because the anime had caught up to the manga, they needed extra time to make a bigger gap because or the manga doesn't end there. Right? It's still going, right? So I kind of feel like season 2 must happen because it didn't end. Plus, the fact that at the end of the friggin' thing, I like how they ended it too. It was pretty clever. It says continue, yes, no, and then the little credit sign at the bottom. From when you're playing arcade games. Literally, that was cool. So I say yes. I want season 2. So creators, give me season 2 because I really want it. It was a great anime. So ratings, I'll give it. I want to give it a perfect. I really do. I want to give it a 10 out of 10. But I'll give it a 9 out of 10 just because it's not over yet. It's not over yet, and I mean, and there's certain aspects. Like I wish Tyra. I mean, I understood the fact that he had to die, but I wished he hadn't died, and then I wish that stupid doctor would have died because I don't like him at all. Plus, I need some Oda Ryota shenanigans going on. That was cool. Plus, I want to know more about the little kid. That little kid is still alive. We saw him again. He's a douchebag. And I want to see more of him because he's an interesting character, like a sociopathic 14-year-old. Like, who doesn't want to see that, right? No, but it was a series, and I really liked it. I suggest it for those of you who are mature. I mean, some scenes are a little too much for younger audiences, so I would say at least 17, 16 and above. 16, 17 years old and above or so, because I don't know, I feel like there's just certain aspects that is really bad and should not be watched by younger audiences. So, but that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully I will have another review later or tomorrow. I don't know. Monday afternoon, maybe. We'll see how that goes, right? Yeah. But yeah. So for those of you, I said it in my vlog or when was it? My last video that I did. I wish luck to all of you who are taking finals and stuff like that. So if you're taking finals this week, I wish you luck. So just go out there and just go for it. Just go for it because I understand how crazy finals are. And yeah. So this has been SoresanCrockxen with Anime Time with Soresan. I totally messed that up. I'm sorry. But Anime Time with Soresan. Thanks for watching. Leave your comments down below if you have watched Btooom. What did you think of it? Any anime suggestions, like just write them down there. I'm looking for a lot more animes to watch, so just leave them down below if you want. And yeah, this has been SoresanCrockxen. I'll see you guys later. So Btooom is a very dark. I mean, it's not necessarily dark, but it's an anime that makes you think a lot.